Hi, welcome to Z Gadget Review. Today in this video, we're going to talk about the pre-order issues for the PS5, news on their backwards compatibility, and news on Xbox Series X and S pre-order date and time. Sony had their event a couple of days ago. I did a video, you can see it up here, announcing the price of their new console, the release date, and the pre-order date, which was supposed to take place the day right after the event, which was yesterday. So September 17th was supposed to be the pre-order date. That was not the case. Walmart, for some reason, decided to shoot out a tweet and tell people that the PlayStation 5 was ready to buy. People that were lucky enough to see the tweet rushed to the Walmart website to start the pre-orders, and then after that, it was an avalanche of other websites just throwing their links up in order to get people to buy the console. So it became a free for all. It was an absolute mess. And obviously, there's lots of people who are angry that Sony didn't tell people what time pre-orders were going to start. They just said pre-orders start sometime tomorrow. It was also announced via a tweet by Sony, by PlayStation, and obviously that created a big issue with everybody because people who wanted to get the console couldn't get the console because they weren't aware of the time that they could go do it. Like you just had to be online and happened to find out by chance. So Walmart screwed up, and then they did a new pre-order the day after. So on the 17th, the day they were supposed to do the pre-orders, and those were gone in about a minute. Sony has promised though that there's going to be a new batch of consoles coming up for people to pre-order. Now the fear is that Sony doesn't have enough consoles to satisfy the demand because there's have been reports that due to coronavirus slash some of their forecasts when it came to shipping consoles. It also seems that they had some issues at their factories with that processors, some processors that were not working, so they had to be scrapped. The news were that they had slashed their forecast by like 5 million PlayStation 5s or PS5s, whatever you want to call it. But then Sony came out the day after that report and said that that wasn't true and all these things, which makes sense that Sony will have to say that this isn't true in order to appease their consumer base and all that, but who really knows what the truth is when it comes to that. Staying with the pre-orders news, Microsoft announced their pre-order date and time. So as we know, that Xbox Series S and X will be able to be pre-ordered on September 22nd. And the time is going to be 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time in the US. To keep in mind is call your retailer to ask if you can go into the store and do the pre-orders in person or they're all just online. I called Best Buy and they told me that the pre-orders were going to be just an online thing. So if you go to the store, you might miss out on that opportunity. So call ahead to make sure that you're not wasting your time going to a store. Now, another PS5 news. Finally, we have some information on whether the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible or not. So it looks like gaming magazine Famitsu from Japan asked Jim Ryan, who's chief at Sony Interactive Entertainment, about backwards compatibility for the PS5 for the PS1, PS2, and PS3 discs or downloads. Now, what he said was that the PS5 specific engineering meant that design team was mostly focused on the simultaneous use of high-speed SSDs and the new DualSense controller. This already doesn't sound good. So this prevented Sony from delivering compatibility with older consoles. Ryan also told Famitsu that even though he made clear that Sony wanted to support PlayStation 4's 100 million players by developing compatibility with 99% of PS4 games, since we thought they would like to play PS4 titles on the PS5 as well. So this announcement obviously doesn't clarify whether PS1 games that were purchased for the PS4. So if you bought a PS1 game that you could play on the PS4, if that game is actually going to run on the PS5. It doesn't say anything either about many sort of PlayStation Now subscription games that you might have. So based on this information, it doesn't seem like Sony is very focused on providing something like what the Xbox provides with backwards compatibility. Comments in the past by Sony have kind of been like, why would you want to play those games? They're older games. So like it was quoted that he in 2007 he said, when we've dabbled with backwards compatibility, I can say it is one of those features that is much requested but not actually used much. That and I was at a Gran Turismo event recently where they had PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 games. And the PS1 and PS2 games, they looked ancient. They looked ancient. Like, why would anybody play this? So if you have the chief of entertainment pretty much saying that it's not worth it for them because nobody's going to play them or nobody cares, that kind of tells you what Sony feels about backwards compatibility on the PlayStation 5. It doesn't seem like it's something that they're paying much attention to. It doesn't seem like it's something that they really care to do. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if you had a PS4 and you were able to play those games via the PlayStation Now subscription, or if PS1 games that were compatible with the PS4 are compatible with the PS5, if you can play them, via the cloud or streaming somehow. Hopefully, there will be a patch, a way to fix their compatibility issues, because there's a lot of people who have great memories over playing, PS1 games, PS2 games, PS3 games. I'm sure there are a lot of older players who have kids who want to share these experiences with their children, or show, how far gaming has come to another generation. This is what I used to play, and this is what my games used to look like. But look what they look like now. Like, look how big, how much gaming has advanced in the years, kind of thing. And it's sad that a company like Sony, has had so much success with the PlayStation system, doesn't see that, or doesn't think that their player base will be interested in doing something like that. I think that if it's something that nobody cared about, that nobody used, as he alleges on his comments, then there wouldn't be emulation software for computers. The backwards compatible program that Xbox has will be non-existent, because it would have been like, we're spending too much money on this and nobody uses it. It's a waste of time and money, so we'll get rid of it. Companies are not in the business of wasting time and money. Making your console backwards compatible costs money and costs time, and so it just doesn't make sense. Hopefully, Sony at some point realizes that this isn't great. Not that Sony needs a lot. I mean, I guess they do. I don't know. I mean, they're doing really well with the PlayStation, but I guess it will just be an added bonus to their player base to have their games be backwards compatible. A nice little incentive, or just to make their player base happy. They're spending money on your product. Just throw them a bone. All right, that's it for me. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell so you can be alerted anytime that there are new videos. And thank you very much for watching.